Humala by Dr. Allama Iqbal. This poem is part of Bangedara. It is the first poem of Bangedara. Allama Iqbal had written it in the background of Charles Wordsworth's poems, in which he has also described the nature and the beauty of nature. So Humala is also about the beauty of nature of the mountain which is in the north of India and Pakistan, the Himalayan mountains. So this is referred in this as Humala. It was published in Makhzan in 1901. So let's first read the poem and then we should see some explanation of it. اے ہمالا اے فصیلے کشورے ہندوستاں چومتا ہے تیری پیشانی کو جھک کر آسماں تجھ میں کچھ پیدا نہیں دیرینہ روزی کے نشاں تو جواں ہے گردش شام و سحر کے درمیاں ایک جلوہ تھا کلیم طور سینا کے لیے تو تجلی ہے سراپا چشم بینا کے لیے امتحان دیدہ ظاہر میں کوہستاں ہے تو پاسباں اپنا ہے تو دیوار ہندوستاں ہے تو مطلع اول فلک جس کا ہو وہ دیواں ہے تو سوئے خلوت گاہ دل دامن کشے انساں ہے تو برف نے باندھی ہے دستار فضیلت تیرے سر خندہ زن ہے جو کلاه مہر عالم تاب پر تیری عمر رفتگی ایک آن ہے عہد کہن وادیوں میں ہیں تیری کالی گھٹائیں خیمہ زن چوٹیاں تیری ثریا سے ہیں سرگرم سخن تو زمیں پر اور پہنائے فلک تیرا وطن چشمے دامن تیرا آئینہ سیال ہے دامن موج ہوا جس کے لیے رومال ہے ابر کے ہاتھوں میں رہوار ہوا کے واسطے تازیانہ دے دیا برق سرے کہسار نے اے ہمالا کوئی بازی گاہ ہے تو بھی جسے دست قدرت نے بنایا ہے عناصر کے لیے ہائے کیا فرتے طرب میں جھومتا جاتا ہے ابر فیل بے زنجیر کی صورت اڑا جاتا ہے ابر جنبش موج نسیم صبح گہوارہ بنی جھومتی ہے نشأ ہستی میں ہر گل کی کلی یوں زبان برگ سے گویا ہے اس کی خامشی دست گلچین کی جھٹک میں نے نہیں دیکھی کبھی کہہ رہی ہے میری خاموشی ہی افسانہ میرا کنج خلوت خانہ قدرت ہے کاشانہ میرا آتی ہے ندی فراز کوہ سے گاتی ہوئی کوثر و تسنیم کی موجوں کو شرماتی ہوئی آئینہ سا شاہد قدرت کو دکھلاتی ہوئی سنگ راہ سے گاہ بجتی گاہ ٹکراتی ہوئی چھیڑتی جا اس عراق دل نشین کے ساز کو اے مسافر دل سمجھتا ہے تیری آواز کو لیلۂ شب کھولتی ہے آ کے جب زلف رسا دامن دل کھینچتی ہے آبشاروں کی صدا وہ خاموشی شام کی جس پر تکلم ہو فدا وہ درختوں پر تفکر کا سما چھایا ہوا کانپتا پھرتا ہے کیا رنگ شفق کہسار پر خوش نما لگتا ہے یہ غازہ تیرے رخسار پر اے ہمالا داستاں اس وقت کی کوئی سنا مسکن آبائے انساں جب بنا دامن تیرا कुछ बता उस सीधी सादी जिंदगी का माजरा, दाग जिस पर गाज़े रंगे तकल्लुफ़ का न था। हाँ दिखा दे ए तसव्वुर, फिर वो सुबह शाम तू, दौड़ पीछे की तरफ है गर्दिशे अय्याम तू. So this was the poem. Now let's see some of the difficult words and let's try to understand that what Allama Iqbal wanted to convey in this. Basically, it's a portrait of when he imagined the area, the landscape of the valleys of this Humala mountain. So in the start, he says, because this is, if you see geographically, the whole of India is separated because of this mountain from its northern area, like Russia, China. Anyone who has to come to India, it cannot easily cross Himalaya. It has to come from either side of it. So it works as a protected wall. So Fasil is the protected wall. So Kishwar is the government or the kingdom. So Allama started by saying that, oh Humala, you work as the protection wall of this Indian kingdom. And because this mountain is very high, so it looks like that because always the clouds are there and it mingles with the cloud and the sky. So it looks like that the sky is kissing the forehead of you. Uh, Derina Rosi means old life. I mean, someone who becomes old. So you don't become old with the passage of time. You don't become old. You remain young within these changing of days and nights. Gardish Shamoser is means it's the changing of the day with the night and the night with the day. So even the day and nights they change, but this mountain it remains as it was 1,000 years ago. I mean, there is no change. If you go any day, you will not feel that there is any change because normally in a normal area we see the changes, but in these kind of areas we don't feel any change. So now he's saying that just like when Hazrat Musa went to the Mount Sinai, to the mountain of Tur, and then Allah Ta'ala, he put a light for him, a kind of uh, a lightning strike on one of the mountains, and it was shown to him as a guidance, as a tajalli means jalwa means to show something. So like there was only one light for Hazrat Musa when he was on the tour, but this whole mountain, if someone wants to uh, indulge, someone to want to think deep, then this whole mountain is like it's like a presence of Allah, like that it's a tajalli from Allah. Tajalli means the strictness of a light to show a guidance or show a way. So to Musa, only one small drop of light was shown as a guidance, but this whole mountain is like a guidance if someone wants to use it. This is, when Allah Iqbal writes, he always try to take its reader towards the oneness of Allah, that you can use these things around us, the environment, you can use it to identify your Lord. So this whole mountain is like if you have a eye which can see. I mean, Chashme Bina means a eye which is alive, not a normal eye. So if you have an alive eye, then you can just watch this, you can see on this mountain, and you can recognize the creator of it. So now here Allama Iqbal is saying that in the normal eyes, for a normal eye, you are just a mountain because it's just a mountain, I mean. But actually, you are our guard. You are the wall of India. And now then he comes to that if you are a book of some poet, if you are a book of poet, then uh, the first stanza of the poet is the sky. So if he said that because the mountain and the sky they are so mingled, so he tried to make a connection between these mountains and the sky to show it. Like for example, if this is a book of a poetry, and this from sky it starts, and then all the poetry is written on this mountain. So Allama Iqbal is trying to give you some idea, trying to show you that these are things that very mingled together. I mean, you cannot differentiate between the sky and the mountain. Khalwatgah is somewhere where someone lived alone in in solitary condition. I mean, he's alone. I mean, he's no one is there. So this whole vast panorama of this mountain is so vast that you feel so much alone. I mean, so it is a place where you can try to find your inner self. It's a place for you so that you can sit and then you can think about you and your existence and these kind of things. It's like a place where you can forget everything else and just remember whatever you want to remember. Daman kashe means someone who calls you to itself. Daman is the front part of the cloth, and kash means to pull. So someone is pulling you from the front part of your clothes. So Lama Iqbal is saying that this is it calls you on your side. I mean, if you uh, are in the area, it's like it forces you to stay. I mean, it wants you to stay, and you like to stay in this place. So it forces you, or it calls you towards itself. So now in this stanza, Barf ne bandi saif Salif Fazilat means the star is a kind of turban which we wear on our head, and Fazilat means some superiority. Like for example, if someone is more knowledgeable or someone has more power or whatever, I mean, then he put a big turban in. This is the culture of India and Pakistan that big turban means you are a big guy. So when you see this Humala mountain, the snow is on the top side. All the top side is white with the snow. So it just like he's imagining that like this snow has put a superiority turban on the head of Humala, and this turban is so superior looking that even it laughs on the Kulah is also a kind of turban, but it's a different kind of turban. And Mehre Alam Tab means something which is giving light to the whole universe, like which is the sun basically. So this snow on top of Humala is laughing on the sun. There may be two. One of the reason of this is like the snow is on the top and it looks like a turban, and when the sunlight falls on this, then this becomes more brilliant. So it looks like it's like someone has very beautiful teeth, and then if the light strike on those teeth, the teeth they give more light. I mean, so it's like you are smiling on that light. So it's just like this snow. When the sun strikes on this snow, then the color of snow it becomes like it's smiling on the sun. Or one other meaning could be that because this snow the temperature is so low at that area that even the sun cannot melt it. It remains there for the whole year, for the whole life. It's always there. So it likes it's challenging. It is smiling on the sun that you cannot do anything of me. I mean, you cannot make any harm. Sun can melt any snow. I mean, if you put snow outside of your home, it will be melted within a few minutes. But from the centuries and millions of years, the sun is not able to melt the snow on Humala. So it's like it's laughing on the sun. Now, Allam Iqbal says that you are so old that the old time is like a second in your life. You know, when we say that this happens in the old times, so these mountains are so much old that those old times which we refer, they are just like a minute second or just like a small amount of time in comparison to the life of this mountain. So it's so much old. Its age is too much that the old time is nothing in front of it. And the valleys, they are full with black clouds. They are like when you go to these kind of mountains, the cloud are generally the mountain is much higher than the cloud. So like the clouds, they have put some kind of tents and they are living in the valleys of these mountains. And the tops of these mountains, they are just like, it looks like that they are talking with the Milky Way, and they're talking to the stars. And Sargarme Sukhan means they are in continuous talk, and Suraya uh, is the Milky Way and the stars above the universe. And you are on the ground, and this whole again he's saying that Pehnaye Falak means the whole vastness of the uh, skies. So it looks like that, uh, if you change your perspective from ground towards the sky, it looks like that, we can say that all the sky is being held by these mountains. I mean, these skies are the limits of these mountains. So because these are too much big, it looks that this is Humala is on the ground, and all this sky is its land. So it's because he has written in the style of wordsworth, so he has tried to give it some imagination. Chashmai Daman means the rivers which comes through your Daman is the front part of the cloth, as I told you. So Chashmai Daman means the river which flows from the mountain. So they look like that they are made of glass. They are a flowing glass, I mean, because they reflect a lot of light and they are very clear. So it looks like that the glass is flowing through these mountains. And because when you have a glass, you have to keep the glass always clean. The glass should be clean, otherwise if the dust comes on the glass, then the glass will not be so much, it will not be reflecting a lot of light. So this air which is always passing by, this air works as a handkerchief of this flowing glass. So this air just always keep cleaning this liquid glass so that it always looks very fresh and it always very clean and very beautiful. Now, because the wind, it's always very fast in these kind of areas. You have the wind don't stop. I mean, on these big mountains, if you have seen these places, if you have gone to mountains, especially this, it's exactly the same mountain and the high mountains, you will not find that the wind stops. I mean, the wind is always going very fast because of the changes in temperature. So he has given it an imagination just like that. Because in these areas there are always very high wind, and then there's always clouds, and there's always lightning strike as well. So Allama Iqbal has given you imagination that it's kind of like to make this air flow. I mean, so that air don't stop. So it's like that. The cloud has a kind of whip. This striking of light is termed as the whip, because the light strike, it's very similar to a whip. So the striking which comes from above this mountain, these light striking are like a whip in the hands of the cloud, so that they can make the air always on their toes. So this is, you can feel the level of imagination how he has portrayed. I mean, it's really difficult for me to talk about these things in English, because the words which are being used, I mean, it's not very easy to make a very good translation. So next, baziga means a playing area where someone plays and where he make new kind of things every day. So now Allama is saying that, oh Humala, it's like that you are a kind of playing area for the nature, that nature has made for you, for different kind of elements, because uh, if you read this Greek philosophy, then the basic part of natures are like fire and earth and air and water, and all of these, because fire is in the form of these lightning strikes, and the air and the water and the land is all there. So Lambal is saying that, oh Humala, you are like a playing area where the nature has given the elements to play and test and make new things. I mean, so now he says that the cloud, you see, he's going like dancing and very happily dancing, the cloud, because the cloud, they move in these areas in very fast, and it changes its shape very rapidly. If you see the cloud in the general area, for example, in the land, you will feel the cloud also move very slowly. But in these areas, the cloud movement is very fast. It's just like that if you had a elephant which was chained with a chain, and when you let it go, you remove the chain, then we know that elephant can run very fast. I mean, so this moving cloud, Allama Iqbal has made a correlation between the moving cloud is like an elephant is running, which is being freed from his chain. So he's running like he's dancing, and he's going very fast. Jumbish means the movement. Mauj Naseem is the morning breeze. Naseem Subh, Mauj Naseem Subh means the waves of the morning breeze. Gehwara is the small place where you put a child. It's like when you put a child in a basket, or in a place where you can put it safely. So the morning time, the wind in the morning, and this gehwara is a kind of basket which you can move also. I mean, when you put a baby in it, and then just you move it, it's like, so that the baby should remain calm and should remain happily. I mean, otherwise, if you don't move it, then the baby starts crying. So if you have seen these kind of like in gardens in the morning, if you see the breeze, um, the newly formed flowers, the buds of small flowers in the in the presence of this breeze, they are shaking a bit. So it's like Allama Iqbal has given a kind of imagination that each bud of the flower, it's also shaking or a bit dancing in the nasha means intoxicated, I mean intoxication of life, nasha hasti. Like it's shaking and it's moving because of its intoxication of life. I mean it is feeling very much uh, good. It's feeling very healthy that it's shaking because of that feel. And this all is because of the morning breeze, which is shaking it like you shake a small boy in the basket where you put it so that he can enjoy the time with you. So so the morning time is like everything is feeling very happy and everything is feeling very delighted, and they are in the, you can say that they are uh, their levels of happiness is on the highest side, I mean. And the leaves of the leaves of these trees or leaf of these plants, they are just saying uh, Zubane Bark means the Zubane Bark से गोया है उसकी खामशी. So the plant is speaking from his calmness, or khamshi means the state of being quiet. So the plant is basically quiet, you cannot say, but its quietness is saying that I have never seen anyone who is plucking my leaves, because you know these areas, they are so solitary, no one generally visits them, so everything is so pure, so in nature. Daste gulchi means a hand which plucks, and chatak means the action of pulling something. So each plant is like he's saying from his unspeakable tongue, because he has no tongue and he cannot speak. But he's just like speaking that I have never seen anyone who is plucking my leaves or my flowers. And he's saying that my quietness is telling my story, because everything is so peaceful, everything is so quiet that its quietness is telling about it. So the quietness is telling that this place, this beautiful garden of me, this is basically kunj means an area, garden like area. I mean, it's, and Khilwat Khana means a place where someone lives in very quiet and very alone, but on his own. I mean, he wants to live alone. So he, like for example, you know, the kings, they wanted to make big gardens only for themselves, and only they can go there. So it was kind of a solitary place, but for a good reason, or for a reason to satisfy yourself. So it's saying the flowers are just like saying from their quiet mouth that this place is like a beautiful garden of solitary, a solitary garden of nature. So this place is like it's a garden of nature where nature can enjoy itself. So nature stays here to enjoy itself. Now, because some rivers, they come out from these mountains, so Faraz means the height. Faraziko means the height of the mountain. So when a small river is coming from the height of the mountain, it's coming just like it's singing, because you know there's a if you go in these places, you see there's a very beautiful voice of the water. I mean, it's just like a very slow rhythm music. So, and this water is so pure and so beautiful and so clean that it envies the waves of Kausar and Tasneem. Kausar and Tasneem are known to be two of the uh, rivers of Jannah. So they are so pure, so clean that they can even they can because when the poets when they imagine something, they imagine that thing to the highest level. I mean, so he's correlating this with the rivers of the Jannah. So it's these small rivers or these streams, they are showing a kind of mirror to the nature, and they are like a mirror to the nature because if you like for whoever watches it, he can see himself. So they act like a mirror. I mean, they are so pure, so clean that you can see yourself in it. So it's like an mirror, and because they are coming and they are like dancing and they are enjoying, so there are stones in between. So sometimes when they want, they hit a stone, and sometimes they avoid a stone. So they are like, like for example, a small kid, he's enjoying his time, so whatever he likes he do. I mean, sometimes he kicks something and sometimes he don't do it. So saying that it's a so free nature. I mean, that the things here, they enjoy in whatever way they like. So when they are coming down, when the streams are coming down, so while in this coming down, I mean, they are um Iraqi Dilnashi. Iraq is a kind of music note. I mean, like a symphony, a very hard attaching symphony, some symphony that goes to your heart. So when these streams, they come down through touching and not touching the stones, so they are like they are generating a very beautiful heart touching uh, music, and everyone who is passing by, he understands this music, he loves this music. So the heart of the person who loves uh, this music of, because this stream is like a traveler, so because this stream is just passing by from this area, so the heart understands the music of this. Now he's talking about the evening time, the time before the sun sets. So Laila Shab means the night. Uh, Zulfe Rasa means very long hair. So it means that when night is going to start, I mean, start opening up its long hairs. So at that time, because this time becomes a bit quiet as well, so at that time you can start listening, or the um, voice of the falls, the waterfalls. Abshar means waterfall. So when the night is going to start, at that time, the voice of waterfalls, it starts attracting you towards itself, and the quietness of the evening time, it's so quiet that you can sacrifice your speaking power on it. Takallum means the speaking, and fida means to sacrifice. So this Khamoshi means a quietness. So this quietness of the evening is so quiet in its nature that you like to sacrifice your speaking powers on it. And tafakkur means to think, like philosophy, or so the at this time, because the shadow is coming, I mean the sun is going down, so there is very beautiful type of time. I mean, so the trees, they look like someone is deep in thinking. Someone is in someone is in. You can say that he's in very deep thinking. I mean, he's thinking very deeply. And because when the evening time comes and the light of sun, it becomes it colors became orange. I mean, it's orangish color. And because the mountain has peaks and troughs, and the mountain has some shadow point kind of area as well. So when the sun starts going down, then this color is it like it's also dances and shaking on the mountain. So it looks very beautiful. It looks as beautiful as he has now compared it to the makeup that women use on his cheeks. So he says that this color on the mountain, it's looking like as beautiful as the makeup color which looks beautiful on a woman's cheeks. Now at the end, I mean, now Allama Iqbal is going to finish this. So now he's asking Humala that, oh Humala, tell us some story of that time when the first time human starts to live in your plains, because it is assumed that the people they started living in the Indian Peninsula in the valleys of these mountains, because all the India is like a valley of this Humala. So, but when the people they start living, I mean, when the first people they came, I don't know when. I mean, no, he's not also. He's just talking about in a very beautiful way that when the human first start living in this area, then at that time, how much beautiful this place should be, because it should be so plain and so simple, and there should not be any the any Dagh means a spot, a bad spot kind of thing, and takalluf means what we do. I mean, the etiquettes that we start using. I mean, takalluf means to do something with a lot of etiquettes. I mean, not doing it very simple, plain way. So now Allama is asking Humala to tell us some story of the time when the humans start first time living in your region, and how tell us that that time was how much simple, and when there was no etiquettes of thing, people were not um, abusing, I will say, or they were not bringing a big changes in the normal nature. I mean, nature was like as it is. I mean, initially the people when they were living, we don't have a lot of pollution. We don't have a lot of because nature was intact. I mean, people have gardens in their homes, so the start time was very beautiful. I mean, people were living very close to nature. So Iqbal is asking Humala to tell us some story of that time, and then he's saying that, okay, in my imagination, show me those day and nights, and maybe in my imagination, this passing of day and night, I mean, this revolving of day and nights, maybe it can run towards the back. I mean, it shows me in the past that how people were enjoying this area, how people used to live in this area. So this is basically written by Iqbal in the style of Wordsworth, where he has provided some very good imagination of Humala and the area and its beauty. So I hope you should like it. So we should. Uh, I will make some new one and then I will upload that as well. So do subscribe to my channel if you like this, and please share it with your friends as well. Thank you.